Hello, hello, it's good to see you. Hello, hello, we're glad you're here. We're stuck at home, but we can still have fun. With crafts and laughs and silly songs, we're glad you're here. Hello, hello, it's good to see you. Hello, hello, we're glad you're here. We're stuck at home, but we can still have fun. With crafts and laughs and silly songs, we're glad you're here.
Happy Easter from all of us at #Sunday Kids Club. I'm so glad that you could make it here this Easter Sunday, and check it out, I've got a green screen so I can be here or even here. Hey! But today we're going to be going to special places, discovering amazing things about the resurrection of Jesus and why that's so special. But first, let's sing another song. Nothing's too big, big, big for his power.
Hey! Ho! Here we go. Hey! Ho! Nothing's too big, big, big for his power. Nothing's too little, little for his care. Nothing's too big, big, big for his power. Nothing's too really, really for his care. Here comes the elephant. Big, big, big for his power. Nothing's too insy, wincy for his care. And here comes the bus. It's too big, big, big for his power. Nothing's too teeny, weeny for his care. He is God of the big, God of the little, God of the stuff, somewhere in the middle. The King of moving mountains loves you more than you will ever know. Nothing's too big, nothing's too big, big, big for his power. Nothing's too little, little for his care. Nothing's too big, big, big for his power. Nothing's too widdly, widdly for his care. Here comes the elephant. Too big, big, big for his power. Nothing's too insy, wincy for his care. Nothing's too big, big, big for his power. Nothing's too teeny, weeny for his care. He is God of the big, God of the little, God of the stuff, somewhere in the middle. The King of moving mountains loves you more than you will ever know. Nothing's too big, nothing's too big, nothing's too small, nothing's too much. He cares for all. Nothing's too big, nothing's too small, nothing's too much. He cares for all. Nothing's too big, nothing's too small, nothing's too much. He cares for all. Nothing's too big, nothing's too small, nothing's too much. He cares for all. He's God of the big. He's God of the big, God of the little, God of the stuff, somewhere in the middle. The King of moving mountains loves you more than you will ever know. Are you ready? Get your fours. Here we go. Hey! Ho! One more time and hey! Ho! Yeah!
We are so glad that you could join us for our very special #Sunday Kids Club Easter video. Today, I'm going to be making an Easter garden. Maybe you've made one at one of our messy churches. I'm going to show you what to do now. These are the things I have for my Easter garden. I have a medium-ish pot. You can use a pot or you can use a large round plant pot tray. I've got a smaller plant pot. I've also got some moss, which I gathered on my walk through our local woodland. I've got some sticks. I've got about 6 of those, 3 long and 3 short. I've got some scissors and twine. I have a large cobble, and I have some pretty shiny pebbles. We just had these knocking about but normal gravel will do as well. And of course, I've got some compost or soil, and I've got my gardening gloves. Make sure that if you're gardening, you wear gardening gloves to keep your hands nice and clean and safe. Once you have your compost into your pot or tray, give it a good water so that it's nice and damp and soft. Next, you're going to put your smaller plant pot inside, and you're going to half bury it with your compost so that it looks like a little tomb, just like the one that Jesus was buried in. You can also put some soil over the top of your pot as well. Again, make sure it's nice and damp, especially if it's been sat in your shed over the long winter months. Once your pot is half buried and you've got some compost over the top, you can then lay your moss over the top of your tomb. Now, if you can't find any moss, or if you just happen to have some around, you can also sprinkle grass seed or wildflower seed, so that if you keep your pot nice and damp and watered, it'll grow and your Easter garden will keep on growing and growing, and you can see new life springing from it as the days go on. There we go, our Easter garden is really starting to take shape. Now, if you're using moss, it looks ready straight away. If you're using wildflowers, don't worry if it still looks a bit bare. If you keep on watering it, those flowers will soon start to come through. Next, we need to make some crosses to go onto our garden. Let's come a bit closer and I'll show you what to do. To make the crosses, you'll need your sticks, one long one for the bit that goes into the ground, and a shorter one to be the crossbeam. Also a pair of scissors and some gardener's twine if you have it. You can use wool or string, but gardener's twine works best if you're going to keep your garden outside. So first of all, make the cross shape with your sticks, just like so. And then you take your twine and put it under your thumb, and you're going to wrap it diagonally around the stick about 3 or 4 times, like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure it's nice and tight. And then you're going to go underneath the beam, and you're going to do exactly the same thing, but going the other way diagonally. So if I move my hand so you can see, so 1, 2, 3 and 4 for luck. There we go, and that's nice and sturdy, and that will stay in a nice cross shape. You just need to tie this little bit off, and you can do that by doing one more wrap around with your thumb underneath, and then that loose bit where your thumb is, you can pull your loose bit into that gap and pull nice and tight to stop it coming undone, just like so. And then once you've made one, you need to make another 2. So you have 3 crosses altogether. And the reason why you have 3 crosses is because Jesus was crucified on one, and he was treated like a criminal, and he was crucified with 2 thieves who had done things wrong. Jesus was the only one who hadn't done anything wrong. And one thief said, "Hey, if you are the Son of God, why don't you jump down and take us with you?" And the other thief said, "This man is the Son of God. Don't talk like that to him." And he said to Jesus, "Please remember me when you go into heaven." And Jesus said to the thief that day he would be with Jesus in paradise. Now let's put our crosses into our garden. Now that you have your crosses, it's time to place them into your garden. If they're small enough, you could always put them on top of the tomb. If they're quite big, like mine are, you can put them either next to the tomb or just behind the tomb. Let's have a look and see. There we go, I've put mine just behind the tomb and you can just see them peeping out the top there. Now you need your large cobble, and this is the stone that gets rolled away from the tomb. So when Jesus was buried, the stone was placed in front of the tomb so that nobody could get in and so that the smell of the body couldn't get out. But when Jesus' friends went to see his body and to anoint it, they found that the stone had been rolled away. So we're going to put our stone not in front of the tomb, but next to the tomb, to show that the stone had been rolled away and that Jesus' body wasn't there. He had risen and he was alive. Now, the last thing we need to do is to put something just in front to make it look pretty. That can just be some gravel so it looks like a path. If you want to use some more grass seed or wildflower seed, if you used that before, you can use that. If you have some extra moss, you can also use that too. I've got these shiny stones. These are just glass pebbles that I bought cheaply from Wilkinson's before lockdown, but I'm sure you could get them very easily on Amazon too. And I'm just going to put them in front of the tomb. And here we have one finished Easter garden. I think that looks really amazing, and it's a wonderful way to remember that although Jesus died on the cross on Good Friday, he didn't stay dead. On Sunday, the stone was rolled away from the tomb and the tomb was empty because Jesus is alive. And that's the really special thing to remember about Easter. And of course, that's a story straight out of God's great big book.
God's great big book, God's great big book is full of stories we can learn from everywhere we look. Whatever gets you down, whatever makes you frown, you'll find all the answers in God's great big book. God's great big book, God's great big book is full of stories we can learn from everywhere we look. Whatever gets you down, whatever makes you frown, you'll find all the answers in God's great big book.
Today's story in God's great big book is, of course, how Jesus came back from death after Good Friday. And we're going to share that story now with our ever so popular hand puppets. I'm the Easter Bunny, watch me hop and skip. Easter's all about the bunny and eating chocolate eggs until you're sick. Oh, I'm the Easter Bunny. Oi, who are you? What are you doing here?
Oh, I'm Jesus. I'm just waiting for some friends.
Well, you can't wait here. I'm putting out Easter eggs for the children to find. It's going to be a surprise.
That sounds like a lovely surprise. I have a surprise for my friends too.
It's not Easter eggs, is it? Because that's my idea.
Don't worry, it's not Easter eggs. It's a very different surprise.
Good. I don't want you to spoil my special day, because Easter is all about the Easter Bunny and chocolate. Don't forget chocolate.
I can certainly see you're excited about Easter. It's a pretty special day for my friends too.
Well, unless they're finding chocolate eggs left by yours truly, I don't see why it's so special.
That is very special, I agree.
So what's their surprise?
It's me.
You? You're the surprise? You don't look very special.
It's a long story. My friends have had a difficult few days, but seeing me again will help things make sense and make everything better than before.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm making everything better than before by putting out chocolate eggs. That's way better than what it was yesterday, when it was just grass and flowers.
I wasn't here yesterday. I'll have to take your word for it.
Oh, where were you yesterday?
Well, I was dead.
I highly doubt that.
Why'd you say that?
Well, you're right here, aren't you? And I'm talking to you, so you can't be dead.
Oh, I'm not dead anymore.
This is getting silly. You can't be dead one day and alive the next day. It's not possible.
I think you'll find that I'm living proof that it is possible.
If you were really dead then, how did you die?
Well, it started at the Passover meal.
Ooh, a meal. Any chocolate there?
Unfortunately, no. My friends were with me, and I had to tell them something very difficult. I had to tell them that I knew one of my friends was going to betray me, and another was going to deny me.
These don't sound like very good friends.
They're only human. After the meal, we went into the garden to pray. There was something I had to do, and I prayed to God about it. I asked my friends to stay awake and keep watch for me, but they kept falling asleep.
They really don't sound like very good friends.
They did their best. It had been a busy week. Then I was arrested.
Wait! You were arrested? I'm going to call the police. I can't have you stealing my eggs.
I didn't commit any crimes. Your eggs are safe.
Wait. You weren't guilty of any crimes? And you were arrested?
Yes. A lot of people didn't like what I was saying, and so they arrested me, even though I didn't do anything wrong.
But that's not fair. They must have let you go.
Actually, they decided I had caused too much trouble, and so on Good Friday I was put onto a large cross where I was left to die.
It certainly doesn't sound like a very good Friday.
I can't say it was my favourite start to the weekend.
That's really horrible. That's put me right off my chocolate eggs.
Well, it might sound horrible, but it's all part of God's plan. You see, I had to die so that I could take on all the bad things and the sad things that people had done, even all the stuff they would do in the future.
That's a pretty tall order.
You have no idea. But all that bad stuff and sad stuff has now been made right with God. Everyone can come to God and get to know him better now. That's what he wants.
I don't think you could possibly know that about God.
Well, actually, God and I have a pretty special relationship.
You still haven't told me why you're not dead anymore.
Ah, yes. That was part of God's plan too. I defeated death, not just for myself, but for everyone. Now, everyone can live forever with God and me after they die.
Everyone? Even Easter bunnies?
Well, who else can we trust to arrange heaven's annual Easter egg hunt?
That's really amazing! I can live forever in heaven! I don't need to be frightened of foxes or high-speed motorways anymore! And even better, I can be friends with God, and he made everything, even bunnies and chocolate. Thank you, Jesus. That's the best Easter present ever.
You are most welcome.
These Easter eggs don't seem like very much now, compared to what you've done.
Oh, I think they're perfect. Eggs remind me of new life. And when you're friends with God and me, that's exactly what you get. And chocolate reminds us all of the good things and sweet things that God gives us.
I didn't think about it like that. Thanks, Jesus. So, are you happy for me to keep putting eggs out for the children?
Of course! Easter is a celebration, and I can't think of a better way to celebrate than with friends and chocolate.
Brilliant! Well, I better get cracking. There's lots more eggs to put out. Bye-bye, Jesus.
Have fun!
I'm the Easter Bunny. It's a special day. Jesus gave us all a new life. And now all our fears have gone away. Oh, I'm a happy bunny.
Oh, I can see Mary. She's not going to believe it when she sees me.
I really hope you enjoyed that as much as we did. So what's it all about? Well, God sent Jesus to earth to live like us, to know what it was to be like us, and so that he could then die and take all of our sadness and badness, all of our tears and fears, and put them on the cross and take them away forever and ever. And then Jesus defeated death and came back again. So if Jesus took away all of that stuff, all the sadness and badness and the tears and the fears, why do we still feel sad sometimes? Well, even Jesus felt sad. When Jesus' friend Lazarus died, he cried and he cried because he was so sad. Jesus knew what it was to be sad. And what about angry as well? How can we still feel angry when all that was taken away too? Well, even Jesus felt angry. In the temple, when there were the money changers who were selling things in God's holy place, Jesus got really angry. Even Jesus knew what it was like to be angry. And what about to be worried? We still feel worried. Surely Jesus took all that away too. Jesus knew what it was like to be worried as well. In the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus prayed and prayed because he was so worried about going onto the cross on Good Friday. Jesus knew what it meant to be worried as well. And we always say that in Jesus we have a new life, but this new life doesn't feel much different to the old life I had before. Well, having a new life doesn't mean it changes on the outside. Having a new life with Jesus is something that changes on the inside. We have a heart that's humble and caring and kind, just like Jesus' heart. And that's a really special way to have a new life. And not only that, because Jesus defeated death when he came back on Easter Sunday, we have not only a new life, but a forever life as well. So Jesus came to earth and he lived like us. He knew what it was like to feel sad and angry and worried, but he took all of the badness and the sadness away. And although we'll still feel these things from time to time, it's okay because it means we can still be close to God because Jesus took away all the things that separate us. And we have a new life in him, our kind and caring and humble hearts, and we have a forever life. And just like Jesus wasn't defeated by death, we won't be defeated by death either. That's the good news of Easter Sunday. Oh look, an Easter egg. Easter eggs are a really great way to remember that Jesus gave us a new life. And not just that, let's have a look inside. So, the egg reminds us of new life because we remember things like chicks and caterpillars that come out of the eggs and hatch. New life coming from a tiny egg. But also, if we look inside this egg, it is empty. And we remember that the tomb was empty too. Jesus wasn't inside the tomb anymore. Jesus had risen and he was alive. And we can also eat and enjoy our chocolate eggs. So today, when you're enjoying your chocolate eggs, take a moment to pray. Thank God for the new life that we have in Jesus. Remember that the tomb was empty, and remember all the good things that God gives us, like chocolate, as you eat your eggs too. Because there are lots of wonderful things about Easter. The new life we have in Jesus, the fact that he's alive, and we remember that God gives us lots of good things.
God is listening, yes He can. He is hearing all our worries, listening, hearing all He can. God is listening, can He hear us? God is listening, yes He can. He is hearing all our worries, listening, hearing all He can.
Dear God, Easter is such a special day, and as we eat our Easter eggs and do Easter egg hunts and do lots of other fun spring activities, we think about how important Easter Day is, that it's the day that Jesus came back from death to make sure that we could have a new life and a forever life in Him. Thank you that we can have a new life in Jesus. And we are so happy that the tomb didn't stay full, that it was empty, that Jesus defeated death, and that Jesus is alive. And we are thankful, Lord, for all the good things in our lives, for our family, for our friends, for our homes, for our chocolate, and of course, for the new life we have in our special friend Jesus. Amen. We have had some really beautiful artwork this week. Thank you so much to everyone that sent in. Let's see what we've got. Dane has made a beautiful spring banner. First, Dane picked some flowers, and then he pressed them for 5 days, and then, once they were pressed and dry, Dane glued them onto his banner. They look so pretty in the light, and what a wonderful way to celebrate the flowers of spring. Well done, Dane, it's absolutely gorgeous. Iris and Gracie have worked together to make this fantastic train track. I absolutely love how it all loops together, and I love how you've used different things in your train track as well, especially the seashells and the little cottage. That looks fantastic, girls, well done. And Iris and Gracie also made some really delicious looking Easter cupcakes. Oh yum, I know a certain Easter bunny that would enjoy those. Fantastic, I hope they taste as good as they look. Our friends Sian and Erin were both really regular faces at #Sunday Kids Club when we were meeting in person. So it was so exciting to receive artwork from them this week. Sian has made this amazing papier-mâché fish. What beautiful bright colours. He looks like such a happy fish and so sparkly too. Fantastic, Sian. You've done an amazing job making your fish. And Erin has done this absolutely stunning picture of a toucan in a rainforest. You've also used lots of amazing colours, and I love all the different textures and the ways that you've created lots of light and shade. Well done, Erin, you have worked so hard on your picture. And finally, our pal Mimi Murray has got a very special video to share with us.
Hello everyone, my name is Mimi Murray and I'm 5 years old. The Easter story is very important to me. My mummy read the story to me this morning. My mummy told me that on Sunday, Jesus will rise again. And this cross is where Jesus died on. And I'm going to play one of my favourite songs I like to listen to and I like to play on my piano. It's called When the Saints Go Marching In. And Jesus died on the cross for you and me.
so much for sharing your colourful cross. What a wonderful way to remember that Jesus died for all of us. And your piano playing is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Thank you so much to Dane, Iris, Gracie, Sean, Erin and Mimi Murray for sharing all your artwork and musical talents this week. It's so wonderful to see what you've been up to. Thank you everyone, you're all superstars. Don't forget, if you want to see your artwork here on #Sunday Kids Club, then drop me an email at layworker.tmcc@gmail.com. We really hope you have a super Easter Sunday, and we can't wait to see you again in 2 weeks' time. Bye bye for now.
Goodbye, goodbye, was good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. We'll have more fun when we see you next time. With cross and lost and silly songs, we'll see you then. Goodbye, goodbye, was good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. We'll have more fun when we see you next time. With cross and lost and silly songs, we'll see you